wolf with the mask on, that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another discussion topic video for today. We're going to be going over the first 4 episode titles of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3. So, I had a lot of people letting me know about this one. This actually came out a few days ago. And I decided to kind of hold off until we started the new week. And then we would talk about this for today's Walking Dead discussion video. So, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is about a month and like 2-3 days away, something like that. So, we're getting pretty close to the return of the Walking Dead universe, which honestly, it has not felt like we've been gone all that long. I mean, honestly, it feels like just yesterday Dead City ended with season 2, and we're already, on Daryl Dixon, because while Dead City was pushed off way longer than we all thought it would, I think a lot of people expected Dead City to release in like February and then only released in May. So these shows are airing pretty close together, Dead City and Daryl Dixon. We haven't had to wait too long. After Daryl Dixon Season 3, I'm starting to imagine that we'll have a big break. Like, the shows will be off for a while. Probably like it was after Daryl Season 2 into Dead City Season 2. It's going to probably be like, 8-9 months of just, like, straight up nothing. That's what I'm assuming, at least, because we haven't had any new shows announced or anything crazy like that. So I feel like Walking Dead will take a big break after this season of Daryl Dixon. Could be wrong, though, of course. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But let's get into these titles because, we got Spanish titles this season, which I very much assumed that we would. But we have Spanish titles. We have the first 4 episodes. The other 3 episodes from episode 5 to episode 7, we don't know yet. Once we get those, we'll cover those as well. But for now, let's go over the titles for the first 4 episodes. Now, the first episode title for episode 1 is titled Coast of Death, I believe it's called. And this one probably referring to, I'm assuming, them arriving in Spain, the coast of death, you get to the coast and it's, big deal, you know what I mean? But obviously, it's probably also referring to my prediction, which is that Julian is going to die in the storm before they get to Spain, and then it'll just be Daryl and Carol. I think that's pretty obvious. There's no footage of that Julian guy in Spain. I think it's very clear that when they crash the boat, that guy is going to be dead, and I think that's what this title is overall referring to. It could even be a line from him before he dies. You know what I mean? It could be something like that. But again, also, all these titles are in Spanish. I'm reading them in English just so, obviously we understand them, but these are all Spanish titles. Keep in mind. So that is that. Now, episode 2 is titled The Offerings. Now, The Offerings, what I think that probably means is this is when Daryl and Carol are going to be getting adjusted into the community that they're at in Spain by Dutch Vanderland. And they're probably going to hear about the offerings that they make to these gangs that come inside and take, one of these guys' daughters each time, you know what I mean? The offerings. And then Daryl's going to become suspicious. He's going to kind of catch on to some, suspicious stuff going on, realize that this place isn't as nice as it all seems, and then offer to help. The offerings, right? That's what I think episode 2 is going to be about. Now, episode 3 is titled The Sacrifice. Now, probably somebody having to be sacrificed for them to, do whatever they need to do. Or they're going to have to sacrifice someone because somebody wants to sacrifice themselves so that they get an opportunity to fight back against these guys. That's probably what we're kind of looking at there, something like that. So that's episode 3. And then finally, episode 4 is titled Border Justice. So, Border Justice, I'm not sure, something to do with, like a mark or something of some kind that maybe like both groups are making like a border of some kind and you don't cross our border and stuff like that. Could be like an alpha situation, could definitely be something like that. And that is our midways episode of the season right there. So Border Justice. Yeah, not quite sure what that means. Maybe a punishment of some kind. There's definitely a lot of old Western vibes, a lot of like old, tactics that they're probably going to be using this season, I would assume, to kind of, relate to old ways that, people used to do things and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's probably going to have a very Red Dead-esque, vibe to it, which I'm excited to see. We're probably going to see some public executions. We're probably going to get to see, other craziness like that. You know what I mean? And we also know that this season will not be the only Spain season. It's also going to be season 4. So we're going to be here for a little while. So just because there's only 7 episodes, it doesn't really mean much. We have a whole other season apparently in Spain, from what I'm hearing from it at least. So I feel like Spain will be, most of season 4 as well. Hopefully the last couple episodes, Daryl returns to the States. But at least for season 3 and most of 4, I feel like it's going to be dealing with Spain and everything going on there. So that is kind of the idea. That is kind of what we're looking at right there for Daryl Dixon. So those are the titles for the first 4 episodes. Obviously, we get the other 3. We'll definitely discuss those. But they're in Spanish. Now, it's kind of different for me because, you know, I remember when we got the titles for the last 2 seasons of Daryl Dixon, I would be able to read them off because, you know, I'm French. So obviously, I can understand what they're saying without even looking at the subtitles pretty often, you know, but not. This is going to be different. I'm going to kind of be confused like a lot of other people where I'm not going to know what the hell they're saying. I only know very little Spanish. I don't know much of it, to be honest. Not enough for me to speak it here, you know? So, French I can. I've spoken French on videos before as I've covered Daryl Dixon, you know? But now, not so much. You know, the Spanish, not so much. I really have no idea. Like, per favor, you know, agua, you know what I mean? Like, I know a few things, you know what I mean? You know, unos, dos, tres, like, I can count a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too much. So, you know, it's going to be kind of interesting to see, maybe if I learn more Spanish this season. I feel like we all could learn some Spanish this season for all of us that don't know it, you know what I mean? I feel like we're all going to get our opportunity to kind of learn, like, hey, I'm kind of catching on to some words there, you know what I mean? We'll have to see. But, yeah, it looks interesting, man. It does. I'm hoping it's good. I am really hoping it's good. I hope it's an exciting season. We got 7 episodes to go, and then, obviously, the very anticipated Season 4, which y'all know my hopes for that season. I hope we get a certain something, you know what I mean, at the end of Season 4. That'd be great. And until then, I'm going to kind of just sit back, hope that these things are good. Hope that, you know, Dead City can also be good as well when that show comes back as well, you know what I mean? And just hope that it can be good, you know? Walking Dead is, you know, it's in a spot right now where I'm not sure about its future, to be fully honest, but I'm hoping it goes in a good direction. I hope that after these Daryl seasons, we get to some substance. I hope that we get to something that matters. Something that makes a big difference, you know what I mean, in this franchise again, because I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've done so. And I'm hoping that we get, you know, certain things that we've been asking for a good while, you know what I mean? So that's all we can hope for right now. But Mr. Gimple's probably gonna have space or some crap like that, you know? Be like, nah, no Rick and Daryl reunion. You go to space instead, you know? We're gonna do the next Death Stranding before Death Stranding does it, you know? We're gonna take Norman Reedus and we're gonna do that before, you know, that's the crap that Gimple will do, you know what I mean? It'd be like, Daryl goes to space, you know? He doesn't go home, he goes to space, and Carol just flies to Mars. So, anyway, we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see what ends up being handled here in the franchise of The Walking Dead. We'll see what ends up going down, but that's my overall thoughts on the situation right now. These first 4 episodes, I hope, are good. I think we're getting another behind the scenes on the Daryl show, so we'll probably cover that in another day or two as well, too. And, yeah, there you go, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for the Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected, every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.